Hey, Gal, KMOX News.
I'm going to have
from KMOX Sports. This is the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
We are at Cardinals Nation inside Ballpark Village. We're very excited to bring you a special broadcast from inside Ballpark Village, where we would like to be right now. Now, later, the ballpark will be buzzing with activity, and fans are going to do their best to stay cool and hydrated. But right now, the place to be is Cardinals Nation inside Ballpark Village. You want to get something to eat, you want to get something to drink, you want to get some air conditioning and cool off before the game. This is where you want to be. We broadcast many of our shows from here. Sports on a Sunday morning is here from time to time. I thought this would be a good day to do so. Dennis Ford is here as a winner of the Cardinal Glennon Gallop, which was a great event, and donating to that great Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, and an opportunity to sit in with us. And so we appreciate Dennis very much and hope that their family enjoys the game. I'll tell you what, Cardinals fans are very, very happy right now with the way this team is playing. And I'll be honest, I had a email exchange last night with a guy named Dean, and he called me out a little bit for being too optimistic, too positive, and maybe overinflating how much the fans are into this team. And he kind of said, hey, I know that you always say that the place is starting to fill up a little bit, but I didn't see a lot of fans yesterday. I countered with that I was at the game on Friday, and I felt that there was a great vibe in the stadium. And while it wasn't full, it sure felt packed compared to some of the attendance figures in the past. But I told Dean he's right. I will be cautious when I start talking about this a little bit more. I don't want to lead people to believe that, it's back to being at full capacity or something like that. But I think it's okay to say that the fans like the team. I mean, I think the fans like the players. The fans started to protest ownership and John Mozeliak. I told you all the story about running into a fan when I was doing the college baseball Missouri Valley Conference tournament, and he could not have been nicer. I mean, probably in his 60s, dapper, wearing his Illinois State polo and khakis, and he knew everything about the Cardinals. And he stopped me because he recognized me. We were just chatting in the parking lot, and I said, when are you going to come down and see us? You going to go to the Cubs series? And he goes, I always go to the Cubs series, but I'm not coming down there until John Mozeliak is gone. I was like, wow, okay. I mean, it took me by surprise because he was a very well-educated, very good Cardinals fan. So it brought me back to, yes, there are people who are out there who are not coming because their perception is this or their feelings are this. I've told you over and over again, I will never tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you what you're missing if you're not here. I'm going to tell you about the team. And yes, as a rights holder of the St. Louis Cardinals, we will help them with their promotions and we help them with their marketing. But I'll always tell it to you straight. And, this team is, to me, a team that is just trying to figure it out along the way. They're just sort of grinding out ways to win. It's not pretty by any means, but they find ways to do it. And they are pretty exciting. And they're young and they're developing. And in some cases, a little older. Nolan Arenado is one of the great third basemen of his generation. He's going to go into the Hall of Fame. It's one of your last chances to see him. I don't know how long he's going to be a Cardinal, whether it's this year or next or beyond. He almost wasn't a Cardinal this past offseason. They tried to trade him to the Astros. They had a deal in place, and he rejected it. Wilson Contreras, fun player, been around a long time, hated here in St. Louis when he was a Cub. Now he's back. You just go right down the line. Sonny Gray. Here's one of the great pitchers of, I'd say, the last decade in baseball, and he's bounced around to some teams. He wanted to be here. He wanted to come back, and he said, no, you know what? I want to be here. I want to be part of this. And so he stuck around. So, I look at the team, young guys that are going to make mistakes. Jordan Walker is far from perfect. He's watching pitches go by. He's, going to make a mistake every now and then. Gorman got nailed on the base paths every once in a while. He also, will chase a bad pitch. Mason Wynn is not perfect, but boy, is he learning, and he's a phenomenal fielder. and is willing to do whatever it takes to win. I saw him not going 100%. I was at the game Friday. I saw him not flying down the line on that ground ball to second. I was there. We talked about it in our seats. I see these things happening. These are learning, growing pains that the Cardinals are going through. But I'll go back to this. It is a fun team, and I think that some fans are starting to latch on to the players, and they're coming back for the players. They're coming back because they like baseball played the right way, and they like to see effort, and they like to see players grind. And, yeah, there are some young players coming, too, who are really going to draw. I think Weatherholt's going to be a draw. I think Quinn Matthews will be a draw. McGreevy already has shown you that he has some Wainwright-like qualities. And I think that the team has an exciting center fielder in Victor Scott who's learning along the way. Lars Nootbaar has tons of talent, but he's still, not through a full season yet, trying to figure out. He's gone up and down a little bit. I mean, they all have their story. Brendan Donovan's about as solid as they come, should be an all-star. Alec Burleson has taken an opportunity and run with it. It's a team that is in the works right now, and I do believe that they deserve the attention, but I wouldn't tell you with your money what to do, but I'll give suggestions. And my suggestion would be to follow this team, keep an eye on them, and if you do feel like you can get down here and be in an air-conditioned concourse like the Redbird Club, or if you want to sit up high in the shade and just take it in and have a hot dog and a beer, do that. I mean, the Cubs are coming to town tomorrow, and I assure you they'll have some fans here. Cardinals will have some fans here. It'll be a great atmosphere. Now, contributing to the Friday atmosphere was the fact that down here, and again, we're coming to you from Ballpark Village right now, Cardinals Nation. Friday was really, really well done by the Cardinals. They had Cole Swindell play a post-game concert, and I know this is done in other cities, but I hadn't seen it. And I hadn't seen it at Busch Stadium before. I remember when Adam Wainwright played a shorter set out in center field. Remember that? Well, Cole Swindell played a full hour plus behind second base, fans on the infield dirt, fans in the seats, people having fun. It was a warm, humid summer night in St. Louis, and it was really, really great. And I commend the Cardinals and their production team that came in for putting that together, and Cole put on a great show. But before that, Cardinals scrapped out a win that I didn't think they were capable of, quite honestly. That was a lineup that was just sort of put together at the last minute because Herrera was hurt. They decided not – I don't know if it was put together at the last minute, but it felt this way. Herrera was hurt. Contreras and Arenado weren't playing because Arenado played both games of the doubleheader. Contreras played in the doubleheader. They gave them the day off. Sajaci's not even at the ballpark yet, so they put out this qualifier. This is the lineup if Sajaci makes it on time. And they win the game, and they win it decidedly. And they did it with timely contact, making the Reds make plays, pitching extremely well. Andre Palante, really good effort. I thought it was a poster for what the Cardinals are. A B to B plus type team that had put away the Dodgers 2 out of 3, that took care of the Cincinnati Reds for 2, and now is going to take on a first-place Chicago Cubs team. And I promise you, they hear all the critics. They've heard it all. They have a little edge to them. I think there is a neat story brewing here, but it's up to them now. Cubs for 4 after today. Cubs for 3 up at Wrigley. Big, big series, all of them. A crucial time for the St. Louis Cardinals. When we come back, we will go into the clubhouse. We'll hear some of the reaction to last night's win, a Joel Pozo walk-off hit in the 11th inning that gave the Cardinals a 6-5 victory. I'm Tom Ackerman, Sports on a Sunday Morning. We're coming to you live from Cardinals Nation inside Ballpark Village, and we'll be right back.
Do you like the word thorough? It's a good word, thorough. It means complete, accurate, detailed. Well, when you go to Ophthalmology Associates, you will get a thorough eye examination. The technology is incredible. It's all up to date, the very latest. And Doctors Bertie, Malhotra, Brusati, and Royer and their staff will make your visit very personal. That's because they believe every patient is unique. Ophthalmology Associates takes all the research and technology and their personal knowledge and expertise and tailor it into an eye care plan that is as unique as you are. Services include everything from expert treatment of cataracts and retinas to comprehensive eye exams for you and the kids, and a full-service optical shop with a ton of frames to choose from. Ophthalmology Associates, 3 St. Louis area locations. Visit youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000.
Spring into a new home with amazing savings at TR Hughes. Hi, I'm Jason Hughes with TR Hughes Homes, and we are currently offering half off up to $40,000 in options and up to $5,000 in closing costs on brand new to-be-built homes at select TR Hughes communities. That's right, half up to $40,000 in options and up to $5,000 in closing costs. Visit trhughes.com for details.
The choice of a home builder is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
However, you really should visit trhughes.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Another RX Watch, brought to you by Onder Law.
Welcome back to RX Watch. This alert is disturbing.
Right. A while back, we learned that companies like Johnson & Johnson use a mineral called talc in baby powder and other products.
And studies show that talc, when used for feminine hygiene, can cause ovarian cancer.
Now listen to this. RX Watch has learned that the talc they use is being mined in China.
Right, and talc mined in China contains heavy metal contaminants like chromium and magnesium, which are known to cause cancer. But China doesn't care.
So China gets the jobs and we get contaminated talc in our baby powder.
And ovarian cancer.
Right. With their specialized tests, the medical team at Onder Law can help you know if your ovarian cancer was caused by talc.
Onder Law has helped women for years with free and confidential consultation. You need to call Onder Law's pharma attorneys at 1-800-RX-WATCH.
Call Onder Law at 1-800-RX-WATCH.
That's 1-800-RX-WATCH, or go to rxwatch.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. We are at Cardinals Nation inside Ballpark Village. It's great to be with you. I am Tom Ackerman, and these are the St. Louis Cardinals taking on the Reds today at 1:15 down here. The Cardinals won the first game, and it was a crazy one. The Cardinals just, this is the way things are going right now for them. They are an up-and-down type baseball team, but they're fun. I'd say the second game against the White Sox was the crazy one, winning 8-6. Friday's game, they found a way to win 6-1 with, a lineup that they called survival mode from Ollie Marmol and others. And then they just grind this one out yesterday. And here's how it happened. I want to start with this. Third inning, Elly De La Cruz, who was picked off by Pedro Pages in game 1 of this series, is at the plate. There are 2 outs. So just to set the table for you, McLean single and then a Friedel single. And then Gavin Lux grounds into a double play. And it's Sonny Gray to Mason Wynn to Wilson Contreras, and a run scores. So Cardinals 2-0 lead is cut to 2-1. Then Elly De La Cruz, who is a phenomenal player. He really is. A good, young, fun player, hits for power, has tons of speed, comes to the plate to face Sonny Gray, and this is what happened.
Open stance, waits on the first pitch of Sonny. He lines us in the center field. Victor Scott's on the run. Can't get it. It goes to the wall. Watch De La Cruz run as he goes into third base, and here's a throw, and he is safe. And it gets away from Arenado, but Sonny Gray backs it up, and Cruz is going to try and score. Here's the throw, and he is OUT. Out by a mile. Good play, good fundamental play all the way around.
A great backup play by Sonny Gray. He backed up the play as the ball got away from Arenado and threw a dart, as he would. He's a pitcher. Throws a strike right to the catcher, and it's an out recorded, and De La Cruz is out, nailed on the base pass for the second consecutive game. De La Cruz is a great player. The heat got to him, as you saw in the fourth inning. He got sick out on the field. Then he came out and he walloped a home run. a 435-foot shot. Again, he just took a changeup and deposited it. He is something else. And the Cardinals are down in this game 5-2 in the 8th inning. This is 5-2 on the Dela Cruz home run in the 7th. In the 8th inning, Cardinals again still down by a count of 5-2. And Mason Wynn singles, an infield single that goes to Dela Cruz. It was deflected by the second baseman. It scored a run, and it's 5-3. Then here comes Alec Burleson.
From the stretch, the pitch. Burleson swings, and he hits it to right. That's a hit. That's going to score Donovan. On to third, Mason Wynn. The Cardinals are down 5-4 now with the tying run at third. 2 outs in the 8th.
They just keep coming at you. Wilson Contreras struck out. It's a 5-4 game, but you just get this feeling if they can just get through the 9th, maybe they can give themselves a chance, and they do. John King comes in for Granillo, who recovered well after Steven Matz gave up 3 runs. Granillo just gives up a run, and getting through the rest of the 9th is John King, the lefty, very good. Bottom of the 9th, leadoff hitter, Nolan Arenado.
The pitch. Arenado swings. He hits it deep. Way back to left field. It might go. It's got her. A tie game. Arenado comes back to tie the game in the 9th inning.
Hits that one off Emilio Pagan, and Pagan ends up striking out the side after that. Gorman, Nootbaar, Pages to get this game to extra innings. But Arenado hits the big home run, and we have ourselves a tie game. The Cardinals and Reds are not able to score in the top or bottom of the 10th. In the 11th inning, Phil Maton comes into the ball game. He starts things off with a wild pitch, and the runner at second, Spencer Steer, is able to get over to third. But then he strikes out Will Benson. He strikes out Santiago Espinal. He walks Connor Joe, and after Joe steals second and third, he Ks Matt McLean, which was the pitch of the game for sure. Maton gets a huge strikeout and takes us to the bottom of the 11th. Arenado hit by a pitch. Remember, you got a runner at second here. Jordan Walker to start off the 11th. Arenado hit by a pitch. Nolan Gorman pops out. Lars Nootbaar pops out. Cardinals fans are saying, come on now, somebody bring this run home. You know who that somebody is? Joel Pozo.
A look to second base. The pitch. A swing, and the ball's looped into right field. That's a base hit. Walker's being sent around. Here comes the throw to the plate. Save! A Redbird winner! Joel Pozo drives in the winning run. Light it up in downtown St. Louis as the Cardinals have come back to beat the Cincinnati Reds here at Busch Stadium. Wow, what a finish. And the Cardinals have knocked off the Reds 6-5.
John Rooney, Mike Claiborne, you heard the call on KMOX, and what a moment. Pozo does it. He is a contact hitter, and he just finds a way. He pokes that ball into right, gets Walker to score, gets in there by inches, and the Cardinals win the ball game 6-5 after the game. Nolan Arenado.
Cardinal fans, our star of the game here this afternoon is Nolan Arenado, the big home run in the 9th inning to tie this game. There's no fight in this. There's no quit in this team.
No, there ain't. We did a great job. They got some good arms over there. We battled to the end, and it was just a great team win.
I know you'd prefer not to play 12 innings on a day like today, but to get the wins and to keep piling up the wins, that's what this team has done.
Absolutely. Obviously it was a hot day. It wasn't easy to get through, but we found a way, and it's just a great team win. But shout out to Pozo, man. What an at bat coming in. He hasn't played all day, and he's just been – that was unbelievable. He's the player of the game, to be honest.
Talk about the depth that this team has, because last night it's a totally different lineup. You pile up 6 runs. Today you're back in there. Wilson's back in there, but the result is the same.
Yeah, I just think we just have a good group, man. We're having good at-bats, 1 through 9. And like I said, today was a tough day. They pitched well. But like I said, we found a way to win, and that's the most important thing.
And it's an important stretch because you've got the Reds and then you've got the Cubs, big division games.
Yeah, division games, again, like I said, they're both good teams. And it was great to win a series. And tomorrow we have a chance to go for a sweep. And it ain't going to be easy, but we're going to be ready to go.
Congrats. Cool off.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Nolan Arenado, our star of the game.
Thank you to Joe Pott on the field with Nolan Arenado. Thanks for Nolan for stopping by. And the Cardinals get another win, setting up Miles Michaelis for a 115 first pitch today. Cardinals getting another big bomb out of Arenado. He absolutely is quietly got himself back into a rhythm here. He's had some big hits lately. His average is up to 247. You know who's hitting 314 right now? The old 314. Better than Donovan, actually. Alec Burleson, 2 for 5, 3 RBIs, and a run scored. He hit his 8th home run, and here he is in the clubhouse.
I think we would have liked to have done it a little bit earlier today, but I mean, we're like you said, we're never out of it. We know that we can string at bats together against anybody that they put in the game, so that's what we did. And then kudos to our pitching staff for we didn't come through there in the 10th, and they just held them right there and let us give us another shot. So credit goes to them today.
How nasty was Mayton?
Yeah, he's looked really good for us. He fills up the zone, and he's got swing and miss too. So he's looked great. Anytime he comes in, we know we got a good shot to keep them where they're at. So he was awesome.
What is it about Joel?
Yeah, Mayton's a real pro. He has been one of the better ones out there and pitching for the Astros, and for the Mets had a tough time last year, but man, he was good with the Astros, and he's been around. He's also from, right around the Springfield area, from Chatham, Illinois. He's a guy who grew up Cardinals fan. Pretty neat to see Mayton doing what he's doing. He gets the win, ERA at 1.84. Cardinals win it over the Reds yesterday by a final of 6-5. So that sets up today here at the ballpark, the Cardinals and the Reds on this June 22nd. They will be throwing Miles Michaelis today, and the Cardinals lineup has not been posted as of yet. We will continue to follow it. As soon as it does, we'll give it to you. Here's the lineup for the Reds: Friedel, McLean, De La Cruz, Stevenson, Lux, Steer, Benson, Trevino, and Fraley. With the pitcher, and I talked about him earlier this morning on Total Information AM, Andrew Abbott's really good, 6-1 with a 1.84 ERA. We'll take a break. When we come back, we talk some hoops. Josh Schertz, head coach of the St. Louis Billikens, will be with us. I'm Tom Ackerman. You're listening to us from Cardinals Nation inside Ballpark Village from the Stiefel Sports Studio.
Have you ever had a wedding reception in your yard or scheduled a party, birthday party, or whatever kind of party at your house, and during the party or a couple 3 hours before notice your air conditioner is not working and it is the hottest day of the year? Or have you come home from a vacation and your house is baking? My experience has been that's when it will break. It just happens that way. So if that does happen to you, or say, again, you don't need to have a party or you don't need to be baked. But if your air conditioner breaks and you need to get the cold air back in your house, call me, Bart Inman. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois. That is 314-293-2600. Again, the easiest of numbers, 314-293-2600, or on the internet, bartinman.com. It's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Lifestyles Unlimited member Lisa on how our educators and mentors share their knowledge.
The whole Lifestyles Unlimited team is just wonderful, and all the people in it is basically copying what I do so you could be successful.
Lifestyles Unlimited. Over 33 years teaching the real estate retirement roadmap. Text the word radio to 88007. That's radio to 88007. Join for just $297 and save 60%. Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
When it comes to DSPs, usability matters. Some platforms bury you in complexity. Results-driven advertising shouldn't look like a chemistry experiment. Viant's AI-powered DSP streamlines setup, automates measurement and optimization, and keeps you in control. Less clicking, more strategy. And with proven CTV leadership across premium publishers, Viant works smarter and delivers stronger. Why are you still trading on a desk? Visit Viant.ai to unlock real results today.
KMOX Weekend at your service, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Coming to you from Cardinals Nation inside Ballpark Village, Johnny Camp is our producer back in the studios of KMOX at the old Park Pacific. And just up the road from there is Chaffetz Arena, where the St. Louis Billikens play their home games. And they have an open practice coming on Tuesday. To join us to talk about that and his team as the head coach at St. Louis University, Josh Schertz is back on KMOX. Man, when I hear your voice, I know we're getting close. It's great to be with you. How are you?
I tell you, it's been off-season's been tough for me. Every Sunday at 10:30, I just stare at my phone AM waiting for the call, and you know what I mean? Nothing's come in, so it's good to be back on. I've just been sitting there every Sunday at 10:30 staring, waiting, and so this was good. I'm back on.
And at 10:45, you're like, no call. Well, I guess I better get back to what I was doing. No, we appreciate.
Maybe he forgot. That's exactly right. Maybe he forgot this
well,
week, but next week will be the week. So this is good that it's good for the soul that I'm back on. I appreciate it.
We love having you. Just a quick announcement before we talk some hoops. I just got Gordon Graceffo has been recalled from Memphis. The Cardinals have just announced Andre Granillo has been optioned to Memphis. Wanted to pass that along. More baseball coverage coming from here at Busch Stadium in just a bit. You come down here, don't you? I got to get you. I got to get you down here if you haven't.
No, I do. I've been down. I've been to 3 or 4 games. Obviously go up and hang with Claiborne and Rooney and those guys. I got to know John when he was doing. He does some Valley games, and John's been great to me. Mike Claiborne's been great. I've been over there. Love Busch Stadium. Love baseball. Cardinals it's one of the fun stadiums to be at. They've had a really obviously an impressive year, and so it's the way they scrap fight that kind of I think the city can rally around that. And it's been a lot of fun when I've been over there. Last year I was really good luck. This year I've not been quite as good luck for the Cardinals. My fandom has not resulted in too many wins thus far, but last year I was undefeated. So who knows?
Wow, that's good. Well, maybe they can return the favor and help you out at your place. I think you'll be fine. The more you come over here, the better they're playing actually right now. So great to hear too. John and Claibs are two of the best people in the world. And I love the fact that you're spending some time with our team. Josh, this is, I think, a fun situation for you, but also a challenging one at the same time. I mean, you get to teach basketball. It's what you do. You get to coach. You have talent available. But it's not easy in this era of college athletics where you're turning over rosters year to year. What are some of those challenges that are presented to you, but also the opportunity to upgrade talent to your liking?
Yeah, I think there's a balance. I hope as time goes on, as we get settled in here, there's less turnover and more continuity. I think that's, we've talked about that before. I think that's the sweet spot. If you're not at a place with bottomless resources and, we're not at St. Louis, then you have to be really good about recruiting, retaining, layering in good young players, and then hopefully the portal's used to fill voids that, your team may have that you can't fill internally. But if you're doing it right, for us, a lot of our voids should be able to be filled internally with guys developing and growing into bigger roles year over year, which actually is how it worked up until the transfer portal and NIL, right? I mean, it was really guys grew in and they, we talked about a lot, when I was at LMU, we kept guys 5 years and it was like they started off, they came in as at the bottom. And by the end, fifth year seniors, they were CEOs, right? And that's a part of that growth process. So, it's challenging when we have 10 new scholarship players. So that's a lot. But we do have 5 returners on scholarship. And those 5 have done a great job, setting a tone, understanding what we're doing. 5 is, 2.5 more times than we had last year because I had Isaiah and Robbie, but the whole rest of the team was new. So we're actually further ahead. And I'll say this, the portals allowed us, it works both ways, but, we feel like we did really well, with the 6 guys we brought in there and also with the 4 freshmen. We got 4 really good freshmen, 4 talented guys that we like, and, Jax Kerr, Cam Hudson, Luke Lechkowski, and Badara Diakite. So, those guys won't get as much mention, but did really well there. And then the 6 guys from the portal have all come in and really taken very quickly to what we're doing. And, we're pretty, far ahead as to where we were last year.
How is Otieno looking? I told you about him earlier. I remember when you played Quinnipiac and I said, who the heck is this guy, Troy? I mean, whoever gets him is going to be a happy team if he ends up transferring. And here he is. He's a specimen.
Yeah, no, he's been fantastic. And, man, is he every bit? I mean, he's a terrific player. He's a better human being. And the guy who benefits, I think, the most from his presence, and he will when they play together, but also going against him in practice every day is Robbie Avila. Just going against Paul every day. Paul's really pushing him. And I mean, Robbie last year kind of had his way in practice. This year certainly has been a tremendous challenge for him when he goes against Paul. I think when they play together, Paul takes some things off his plate. Paul, affects the game in so many ways on both ends of the floor. He's got incredible versatility. But man, his rebounding, his motor, the way he sprints the floor, the way he opens up things for his teammates. He does a lot of things, both visible and invisible, that drive winning. He's been, we really had high expectations for Paul coming in. But I think he's going to be even better than we thought, on the way in. He's a guy that has a chance to make a massive impact for us here in this upcoming season.
Obviously, you've lost some guard play and perimeter shooting. How do you replace that? What are you excited about when it comes to your backcourt?
Well, we lost two great ones, as you said, and Gibson, Jimerson, Isaiah Swope combined to make 214 threes. Kobe Johnson had a really, solid year for us. And, those 3 guys played a lot of minutes, Gibbs and Swope among the top in the country in minutes played. And so I don't think things are not always the same. It's every team is different. You can't go out and replace a Gibson Jimerson with another Gibson Jimerson or Isaiah Swope, another Isaiah Swope. What you do is you go out and you try to, put together the best group collectively. We love our backcourt. I think fans are going to be really excited when they come in and they watch guys like Quentin Jones, Trey Green, Ishan Sharma, Deion Brown, Brady Dunlop. Even, like I said, the younger guys, Cam Hudson, Luke Lechkowski, our collective in the backcourt is as good as I've ever had. I've been blown away by, how hard those guys work, how competitive they are, how quickly they pick up and apply stuff, how coachable they are. It's been terrific to work with them. And all those guys, like I said, all 7, and starting with certainly Quentin and Trey, Ish, Deion, like I said, they've, just, I think, have a chance to really push each other, make each other better. And the practices are going to be terrific because there's a lot of, that's where you sharpen your blade, is in practice. And you go out in the competition and the competition exposes you and is able to give you a snapshot of where you are, gives you data points for, hey, this is what you're doing well, this is what you're doing poorly. Then you go back and you attack those things, try to build on things you're doing well, try to obviously address the other areas. But practice and having that many guys in practice that go against each other, it really, like just talk about with Paul and Robbie, same thing with Quentin and Trey and Ish and Dion and, and Brady and all the other guys, Luke, Cam, et cetera. They're just making each other better. That helps Amari, that helps Dylan, you know what I mean? And there's incredible depth, and those guys are really challenging each other, pushing each other, but in a healthy way.
One final thing, Kellen Thames, just to recap for folks, last year was dealing with some cramping. He was going through a battery of tests. My understanding is he's been medically cleared, but also it's just a management issue right now.
Yeah, well, he's been, he's been medically cleared. We went through a battery of tests this off season, which was something, he needed to do to figure out exactly what was happening. The great news is they don't think it's anything that's, going to be life altering for him. There were some things on the table that would have been scary, but those hurdles have been cleared. So it's not that. It's basically an issue of, how do we manage the situation? He's been great this summer. In the controlled scrimmages, and then we've gotten up and down where we've done more game-like scrimmages. He's been able to handle that. And so right now he's clearing, every obstacle this summer. So far here, the first month, he's looked terrific. I mean, we all saw last year, the first 4 games, I think he was averaging 15 and 7.5 through the first 4 games for us. And Kellen was tracking to be a potential all-league guy, and we're certainly a much better team last year if he's healthy. And it's the same thing this year. I mean, he's a guy when he's healthy and able to play. Kellen's just an extraordinarily impactful guy. He's great in our system. He's great in transition, cutting, all the other things. So there's more hurdles to clear, and we got to see how he does as the season wears on, as we get to games, as we get referees, all that stuff. But so far this summer through June, every single hurdle that he's had to clear, he's been able to do so and really without much issue.
I see that you've announced an open practice on Tuesday at 4 p.m. at Chaffetz Arena. What a great opportunity for fans to see your team and maybe pick out a couple of spots where they want to sit this season. Absolutely. During your home schedule.
No, it's a great opportunity to see our guys. We got this last week here before we break. They get a 10-day break here over July 4th, so they'll leave that Friday and be back that Monday the 7th. And so, great chance for our fans to come out to see all these new guys. To get a feel for the team. I know that's in this era, so many new players. It's a little harder. So hopefully this open practice gives our fans a chance to get out, come see our guys, meet them, watch them play, get a feel for what the team's going to look like, and as we build excitement, we got a great schedule coming here for our home fans. We know we have San Francisco, Grand Canyon. There'll be other games released as we go, but we're hoping, we got some marquee home games, some top 75 teams coming into Chaffetz, and but it's a great chance for our fans to come in, meet our players, watch us play, and as you said, hopefully pick out some seats where they want to sit, because I think it's got a chance to be a special season, and certainly we appreciate and know our fans are a huge part of that, and what Chaffetz is when it's turned up, it's as good as arena as I've been in.
It's great. It is St. Louis's basketball team after all. St. Louis University, the Billikens, with their open practice on this Tuesday, June 24th at 4 p.m. at Chaffetz Arena. Head coach Josh Schertz back with us on KMOX's Sports on a Sunday Morning. Appreciate you. Enjoy your day.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate you. Talk to you soon.
All right, great to talk to the coach. I'm Tom Ackerman. When we come back, we shift to hockey. We're going to talk to Tim Taylor, the Director of Player Development for the St. Louis Blues, and what they're up to right now. Back in a moment. You're listening to Sports on a Sunday Morning, coming to you live from Ballpark Village, Cardinals Nation Restaurant. Back after this.
On the Chris and Amy Show, we're launching 100 Acts of Kindness because apparently honking less in traffic doesn't count as charity.
We're teaming up with Jerry Kelly Heating and Cooling to prove kindness doesn't have to cost a dime.
Hold the door, say thank you, help your neighbor take out their trash without throwing yours in first.
No grand gesture required, just small, simple acts of human decency. We believe in you.
Join us and share your stories with hashtag 100KindActs.
Kindness, it's like a group hug without the awkwardness. Are moles tearing up your yard? Don't let these lawn invaders turn your beautiful property into a mess. Rottler Pest Solutions offers professional mole control services to protect your lawn from damage. Visit Rottler.com today to schedule your free inspection.
Ready for instant curb appeal that comes with a 25-year transferable warranty? Call Rhino Shield today. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, aluminum, steel, cedar, and more. Over the past 20 years, we've done thousands of homes, businesses, churches, schools, condos, parking garages, large metal buildings, and strip malls, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks. We do flat and sloped metal roofs to extend their lives too. Proud to be veteran-owned and manufactured in the good old USA, so we're tariff-free. We're exceeding expectations every day. Evaluations are free. A+ rated with the BBB and a lot of 5-star Google reviews. Call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Well, we have a great company in town that's been around since 1968. It is Chesterfield Fence and Deck. The sign you have, the very best, is what they like to say, and they're confident about that. They are the very best when it comes to outdoor projects. When you're outside and you're enjoying the outdoors, look, you may look at your patio and say, it's time. At least let's have them come out and do a free in-home consultation and figure out what we can do about our patio. Or maybe you want to put in a new fence for the dogs. Maybe you want to put in go as far as a sunroom. A pergola, a retaining wall for your yard. They can do all of that at Chesterfield Fence and Deck. They have the best products. They have the best people putting in those products and consulting you on what that project can look like. They have a showroom in Chesterfield Valley that looks like you're walking through someone's neighborhood. It's fantastic. It's Chesterfield Fence and Deck. They serve the entire St. Louis metropolitan area. Mention me, Tom Ackerman. Get 20% off your next outdoor project with Chesterfield Fence and Deck. The sign you have, the very best.
Hospital Sisters Health System isn't just in your community. We're your neighbors, your friends, your support system. From your first visit, you'll experience expert care backed by the strength of our entire health network. At HSHS, we put your health first, with medical expertise and kindness that makes you feel valued at every step. HSHS, connected to our community, committed to your health. Visit hshs.org/caring to learn more.
Concerned about where your retirement is heading? Is it on track to meet your needs and goals? Are taxes and inflation a constant worry? Well, you can join Jerry Means for What Retirement Means to You, powered by Means Financial Group, and find out how their team can help guide you to that retirement you've always dreamed of. Tune into What Retirement Means to You with Jerry Means, Saturdays at 3 on KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. More details at meansfinancialgroup.com.
You might know Graybar for cable and connectivity, but there's one more thing you should know us for that can help optimize your project's total value, like our comprehensive electronic solutions for security, AV, wireless, and networking, or our specialized job site services, like material staging and kitting, or maybe our logistics specialists who can help you identify efficiencies and ensure just-in-time delivery. So consider what one more thing you may need to optimize your bottom line and get to know us for that. Yep, Graybar does that.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Great to be back with you. The Cardinals lineup is out. We will give you that in just a bit from here at Busch Stadium inside Ballpark Village. Cardinals Nation looking in from left field. I'm Tom Ackerman, and my brain right now is on hockey. And that is a good thing. We're talking to Tim Taylor, assistant GM, overseeing player development for the St. Louis Blues. It won't be long. This is the shortest offseason in sports, I think, as we just saw the Stanley Cup be awarded to the Florida Panthers in back-to-back years. The Blues want to get that back, and Tim Taylor is with us on KMOX. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
Doing great. It's good to be with you. The development camp from June 30th to July 3rd at Centene Community Ice Center. It's open each day, free to the public. Practice will be from noon to 1:15, and it's an exciting time for you. How do you see your group this year as people will see the young players who are in development?
Well, it's exciting for our team. We got a lot of good young players, a lot of guys that we've had high-end picks over the last 3 or 4 years. So it's nice to kind of see them come in the summer, and they come from their junior teams or the college teams and over in Europe and come together, knowing that at some point someday that team, those guys will be together as part of the Blues. So it's nice to get them in and see where they're at physically. Obviously, it's a big week for them to do some testing and get a feel of what St. Louis is all about. And hopefully they can see a light at the tunnel of trying to play in the NHL and see what it takes to be in the NHL. So we're excited with all our players.
Just to understand for people what development camp is, here are some of the players who have graduated out of the Blues development camp. Dvorsky, Snuggerud, Stenberg. I mean, these are tremendous players who have made a big impact, Tim.
Absolutely, and that's what we're striving to continue with our young players. Is we have a great development staff with Chris Thorborn, Glenn Wesley, Matt D'Agostini, and our power skating instructor with John Stambrook. And we bring our AHL coaches in to help run the on-ice facilities drills for this week. So I'm really excited where our staff has gone with our development with our young players. As you see, these players now come through development, and then they move right into our AHL team and to our NHL team, and they're making splashes for the Blues. So we're excited for people to see these new guys come in this week and show them what kind of skills they have, and as well as they get. We want to make sure that they spend this summer get bigger and stronger. So we're going to see all that this week.
This is Tim Taylor. He's assistant general manager, taking a look at player development here on KMOX. And Tim, this is an organization that has been in St. Louis for a long, long time, but at the same time, do you work from the inside out? I mean, obviously you canvass the world when it comes to the best players, but how aware is your staff and everybody else of what's going on right here in your backyard? Isn't it something? I mean, I just mentioned Matthew Tkachuk, the players who are developed right here in our town.
Yes. And we've actually brought some of those players to development camp in the past. And, Jacob Dobes, a goaltender now for Montreal Canadiens, went through our camp. He's from the inner St. Louis area. So it's been really good to see that. Again, hockey comes to the forefront in St. Louis. Obviously, with the Blues winning in 2019 was spectacular. And now with Matthew Tkachuk, back-to-back championships, and all the players that now that are born and raised in St. Louis. It's really remarkable, to be honest with you. They've got a great structure there with kids hockey programs, and that's a credit to the Blues alumni for all the guys that come back and given their time and effort and continue to grow that model there. So it's been great, and St. Louis should be very proud of the players they've produced.
Absolutely. I'm looking at this, and I see first-round picks on the list. I see World Junior Championship silver medalists on the list. I see a Memorial Cup finalist on the list. I also see Marcus Broberg. That name popped out to me. That's Philip Broberg's brother who got the invite on defense. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's going to be exciting for him. Obviously, we're really happy with Broby with his season and where his career is headed with the Blues. So we thought it'd be a nice addition to add his brother here and get to see a look at him. I have not seen him personally play yet, so I'm excited to see what he has to offer. He's going to go back to college for next year, so it's going to be exciting to see. Again, he's one of the players that we'll be watching throughout the week, watching their skills and just seeing the work ethic and just seeing where all these young kids are at. And really, it's a bright future for the Blues organization because of our development and what our amateur staff has done with the drafting these young players.
All camp sessions include 60 minutes of skills and power skating work, followed by a 15-minute 3-on-3 scrimmage. The 2025 St. Louis Blues Development Camp is June 30th to July 3rd at Centene Community Ice Center. On-ice camp sessions take place each day from noon to 1:15. They are free and open to the public. And I guess that's just the final thing, Tim, is how much the organization gives back to these fans. I mean, you have a great relationship with your fan base. And I'm always amazed when I go to Centene and I see how many people pack that place and watch these sessions.
Well, it's great for the kids to see that, what could be lying ahead of them. And obviously our fans are second to none. We're so excited to showcase what we have in our organization for the talent that the upcoming will one day play for the Blues and be on the big ice. So again, our fans have been great. And really at the end of the day, that's what you play for. We went through COVID and there was no fans, and it was hard for those players to play. And at the end of the day, that's what you play for. You play for your fan base. You play for the people cheering you on all the time. So we're excited to bring this another development camp to all the fans and see what the future is going to be bright for us.
It's great to have Tim Taylor on KMOX. He was a great player himself. 13-year career in the league, and has been a big part of the Blues for quite a while now. It's great to have you on KMOX, the assistant GM overseeing player development. Good luck with the development camp, and stay in touch with us.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
You too. Great to have you on KMOX Radio. We have a Cardinals lineup that is out. I'm going to give it to you when we come back from the break after the news. We're going to open up with that, and then we dive into Lutz Pfannenstiel. Might have some news pop in there from City. Stay tuned. He always has something for us. There's no doubt about that. He always has something for us. Mark Boyle, the voice of the Pacers, will be with us, and we're also going to hear from Bernie Miklasz himself on KMOX.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
This is Tom Ackerman. McKelvey Homes, founded in 1898, gives $1,898 back to nonprofits for every home that they sell. 1898. And this time around, it's to Circle of Concern, a food pantry in Valley Park. Most recently, McKelvey Homes gave back to the Foster and Adoptive Care Coalition for the 28 homes that they sold in the first quarter of the year. McKelvey Homes, McKelveyHomes.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
4 Edward R. Murrow Awards, including Overall Excellence. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Peter King. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says last night's attack on Iranian nuclear sites was meant to send a message to Iran and beyond.
When this president speaks, the world should listen.
The assault included B-2 bombers and so-called bunker buster bombs they dropped. Joint Chiefs Chair Dan Kane.
In total, U.S. forces employed approximately 75 precision-guided weapons during this operation. This included 14 30,000-pound GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrators, marking the first ever operational use of this weapon.
Now, the president and Secretary Hegseth say the sites were obliterated. Kane says they're still assessing the damage.
Final battle damage will take some time, but initial battle damage assessments indicate that all 3 sites sustained extremely severe damage and destruction.
So who knew ahead of time? Some members of Congress say they were told about the attack just before it happened. The White House says Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was also told, but CBS's Charlie Daggett reports that U.S. military personnel in the Middle East were not.
Nobody in that region was given notice of the operation until it was over. There had already been enhanced security measures in place.
CBS's Holly Williams is in Erbil, Iraq, with Iran's reaction.
Iran's foreign minister said this morning that the U.S. had committed a grave violation of international law and that Iran has to respond. Now, that suggests that the Iranian regime feels compelled to retaliate against the U.S., perhaps because to do otherwise would be seen as a humiliation. But even before these U.S. airstrikes, Iran had already accused the U.S. of being complicit in Israel's attacks, and it threatened to retaliate against U.S. military bases.
The backlash over the attack has been swift in this country. Democrat Bernie Sanders learned about it while speaking last night in Tulsa.
The only entity that can take this country to war is the U.S. Congress. The president does not have the right.
But it's not just Democrats like Sanders. At least one Republican, Kentucky Congressman Thomas Massey, calls Trump's action unconstitutional. Now, the misery index is high for a big part of the country. Heat warnings up and high temps stretching from the Midwest to the East Coast. Minneapolis is expecting an unusual high of 96. Charlotte, North Carolina, almost that hot. National Weather Service meteorologist Mark Chenard says the numbers could be historic.
It does look like we'll at least have a lot of daily records. So both daily record high temperatures, but also warm low temperatures. So the temperatures are not going to cool that much at night.
This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At 11:03, sunny skies and 91 degrees downtown at the Gateway Arch. Good morning. I'm Scott Jagal. Our top story, reaction in the bi-state to the airstrikes in Iran.
Republican Missouri congressional delegation all are in support of the bombings, but Democrat and combat war veteran from Illinois, Senator Tammy Duckworth, has a very different take on those strikes. She released a statement saying in part, quote, "I ran for Congress so that when the drums of war started beating in Washington again, I'd be in a position to make sure that our leaders will fully consider the true cost of war, not just in dollars and cents, but in the sacrifices and blood of our troops." The Trump administration illegally bombed Iran, putting American troops and citizens at risk of retaliation and threatening to draw us into yet another Middle East war without constitutionally required congressional approval. I have long said Iran could not obtain a nuclear weapon, but this goal could and should have been pursued through diplomatic means. First, Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
KMOX political analyst Hancock and Kelly weighing in. Republican John Hancock says there's some comparison to the pretext of the invasion of Iraq,
where we said that they had weapons of mass destruction, and here we're, banking on the fact that they were building a nuclear weapon.
He says so far, Iran has proven to be a vulnerable target.
What remains to be seen is whether we're going to push this thing into a regime change. History has told us that tends to be a mistake, but that's certainly, I think, on the table at this point.
Democrat Michael Kelly believes there could be other fallout in the Middle East and globally.
Could this be the beginning of a new world war, or have we disabled Iran?
He notes there are already questions about the legality of the president's decision, having made it without congressional approval.
This wasn't in response to something. This was a proactive attack by the United States with our ally Israel, which is fine and good. We also need to remember during this time that Israel's objectives may not necessarily be ours.
Several members of Congress from both parties have already said they believe the president's actions are unconstitutional. Extreme heat warning in effect until Tuesday night. Temperatures each day between 100 and 105 as far as real feels. On the thermometer, it'll be 100 degrees today. Overnight, about 80, then 98, 97, 98 Wednesday and Thursday. Right now, it's 90 in St. Peters, 91 in Florissant, 91 downtown. I'm Scott Jagal, KMOX News.
From KMOX Sports, this is the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Great to be back with you. We are here until noon. We'll turn things over to Joe Pott at that time for Ameren Total Access, the Cardinals pregame show. Cardinals and Reds this afternoon, a 1:15 start. Let's give you a sneak peek at the Cardinals lineup, which has just been announced. The Cardinals and the Reds this afternoon. Let's see what this lineup looks like. Brendan Donovan is going to lead off. He is the DH today. He leads off, and I think he likes that leadoff spot and will be there for the foreseeable future. Mason Wynn seems to like the number 2 spot in the order. He will play shortstop today. Alec Burleson has been on a tear, hitting .314. The left fielder today, Alec Burleson's going to play in left. They're going to give Nootbaar the afternoon off. Wilson Contreras is at first base. He's the cleanup hitter today. Nolan Arenado is back in there at third base. Hit a big home run yesterday to tie the game. Got the Cardinals dugout fired up, and then they ended up winning the game on a Pozo walk-off. He's in the lineup, by the way. Pozo is. Arenado's the third baseman batting fifth. Thomas Sajaci is going to play second base today and bat sixth in the order. Joel Pozo bats seventh and is the catcher. Jordan Walker is in right. He bats eighth. And Jose Barrero is in center, and he bats ninth. I'm going to go through that again for you because it's a different-looking lineup. But remember, they're facing a very good pitcher in Abbott, who is a lefty and is dynamite. 6-1 with a 1.84 ERA. So the Cardinals are stacking righties. They only have 2 lefties in the lineup, Donovan and Burleson. So, again, it's Donovan, Wynn, Burleson, Contreras, Arenado, Sajaci, Pozo, Walker, and Barrero. And here's how they look around the infield. Contreras at first, Sajaci at second, Wynn at short, Arenado at third. The left to right goes Burleson, Barrero, Walker. Pozo behind the plate. Your pitcher this afternoon is Miles Miklasz. He's 4-4 with a 4.35 ERA. The College World Series. So far, it's LSU. Cade Anderson pitched a 3-hitter in his second straight dominant start. LSU is now within 1 win of its second national championship in 3 years. 1-0 victory over Coastal Carolina. Get this, first time Coastal Carolina had lost in 27 games. They carried a win streak into this thing and kept it rolling, but they lose one. The Chanticleers lose a game and have to win today to force a third and deciding game Monday night. LSU wins it 1-0. Cade Anderson, keep your eye on him. He'll be a star at this level. Pitched a 3-hitter. LSU beat Coastal Carolina. The Travelers Championship is going on in Connecticut. Tommy Fleetwood, a 3-shot lead going into this final round. He's never won on the PGA Tour, so he's going to try to do that today. Game 7 of the NBA Finals. We're going to talk to Mark Boyle, the voice of the Pacers. That's on the way at 11:30. The Pacers will visit the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight, and someone is going to come out of that with the Larry O'Brien Trophy for the first time. Neither team has won a championship. The Pacers have been around a lot longer than the Thunder, but they're going after it tonight. The Thunder, a 7-point favorite tonight. That line has dropped a little bit. It is now down to 7 for the NBA regular season champion Oklahoma City Thunder. They were the best team in the league against the upstart Indiana Pacers, who just kept on winning, and they are a fun bunch to watch. Both of them are, actually. I love the fact that there's griping about this from the coast that we have two teams that are inland. So what? We got two Midwest teams that are going at it. I guess you could call Oklahoma City a bit southwest. You got two teams in the middle of the country going at it. Deal with it, all right? We play basketball around here too. Both drivable, the Pacers and the Thunder. And the Cardinals are in a race right now in the division. The Cubs fans are coming in as we speak. The Cubs are playing a little bit later. They're going to be playing the Twins at 1:10. The Brewers are playing the Twins at 1:10. Mariners at Cubs at 1:20. But I know there's some Cubs fans that are making their way down, and we'll make a week of it down here Monday through Thursday for a big series against the Cardinals. But they've got to beat the Mariners first to keep their distance in case the Cardinals win this one. And by the way, the Brewers are playing pretty well also. They're 42-35, tied with the Cardinals, 4.5 back in this division. They visit the Twins. They smoked them yesterday. Brewers won that game 9-0. Elsewhere, it was the Cubs winning 10-7 over the Mariners. So the division right now, the Reds are falling back a bit here, 7.5 out, 3 games behind the Cardinals and the Brewers, who are trying to make their move on the Cubs, who are 46-30 and have looked very good this year with a run differential of plus 104. That is the best in the National League and the second best in all of baseball. Only the Yankees have a better run differential at plus 108. Got to beat the Reds one more time, though, don't you? Let's get greedy. See if the Cardinals can sweep another series, get the Reds today, and then open up a 4-gamer against the Cubs next week. You know who else plays this week? St. Louis City SC. They're going to be taking on Orlando City on Wednesday night at Energizer Park. When we come back, we will visit with sporting director Lutz Pfannenstiel live on Sports on a Sunday Morning. Tom Ackerman with you, coming to you from Cardinals Nation inside Ballpark Village. And we'll be right back.
Lifestyles Unlimited member Chad on the life-changing rewards of real estate investing.
Whenever you have residents coming in thanking you for taking what was dull and drab and turning it around, making their lives better, that's definitely a blessing.
Become a life changer today with Lifestyles Unlimited. Text the word radio to 88007. That's radio to 88007. Join for just $297. A 60% off savings. Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007.
Hi, I'm Andrew Suntrup. For over 30 years, St. Louis families have trusted Suntrup Ford Westport and Suntrup Ford Kirkwood as a proud, family-owned and operated dealership. We offer more than just great deals. We offer peace of mind. At Suntrup Ford, you'll find a huge selection of inventory to choose from, unmatched customer service, and our exclusive lifetime powertrain protection program. Visit in store or online at suntrupford.com. Save more at Suntrup Ford. Visit suntrupford.com.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley telling you about i3 Broadband. You've heard me talk about them. They provide the internet in my home. I love them so much. The reliability is great. Let's talk about price for a moment, though. They've got an introductory rate at $19.99 a month for one of their service options. No bundle ever required. You're going to save $10 a month over the cable company. They've got great pricing on all of their different packages, going up to 8 gigs upload and download speed, always mirrored. See if they're available in your neighborhood. Put your address in at i3broadband.com.
Another RX Watch, brought to you by Onder Law.
There's an evil new twist in the tragic story of baby powder and its link to ovarian cancer. Recently uncovered documents reveal that talc can contain asbestos.
The same asbestos that we know causes mesothelioma.
Right, and ovarian cancer.
In the 1970s, the industry wrote its own rules, allowing Johnson & Johnson to claim that its talc was asbestos-free, as long as it contained less than 1% asbestos.
Of course, Johnson & Johnson helped write those rules. So while we're using hazmat suits to remove the asbestos from our homes, Johnson & Johnson was telling women it's safe for their bodies.
Unbelievable. So if you've used talcum powder for feminine hygiene and contracted ovarian cancer, call Onder Law at 1-800-RX-WATCH.
They've already won several large verdicts against Johnson & Johnson for women just like you.
Call Onder Law at 1-800-RX-WATCH. That's 1-800-RX-WATCH or go to rxwatch.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
We sell siding, windows, doors, and decking by the truckload. My name is Julius Krasanik, celebrating 53 years in this business. Our company is Wholesale Siding Depot, and our seasoned customer service group has over 200 years of combined siding, window, door, and decking knowledge. My grandson Elijah says,
"Are you kidding me?"
The brands that we sell are durable, maintenance-free, and energy-saving. Featuring Anderson, CertainTeed, Viwinco, Provia, Masonite, TimberTech, and others, offering the best selection of styles and colors available in this industry. And better yet, our prices are wholesale every day. Last, our Peace of Mind initiative also includes a free contractor referral service to take care of your installation concerns or needs. You are just one click away from keeping it local, family, and professional. Please visit WSDepot.com. That's WSDepot.com.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
We asked parents to share their journey of adopting teens.
They changed who I am because I can't see life without them in it.
Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back, Cardinals Nation, inside Ballpark Village. Cardinals and Reds this afternoon here, a 1:15 start. Cardinals going for the sweep and trying to gain some more ground on the Chicago Cubs before they come into town tomorrow. They'll be here all week. St. Louis City SC has a busy week. They return to MLS action on Wednesday when they host Orlando City SC at Energizer Park, and then they'll head to Texas to face the Houston Dynamo Saturday at Shell Energy Stadium. And joining us is the sporting director for City, a great guest on Sports on a Sunday morning always, and that's Lutz Pfannenstiel. Lutz, great to have you.
Good morning.
Morning. It's good to have you. We appreciate it. We're here looking into Busch Stadium. How are things at Energizer Park? Ready to get people back in there, I'm certain.
Yeah, after the last game, I think, it was pretty spectacular against LA Galaxy. Lots of goals, lots of actions. I think the players needed that little break and are ready and back again from their little holiday. And I think Orlando will be a big game for us Wednesday. Very good team at the moment, and will be a tough one for us to fight.
I would imagine so. It sounds like it was I was reading Tom Timmerman's story in the Post-Dispatch today. He said there was a lot that went on over the break. Berkey got engaged. There was a marriage. There was a child born. A lot of family time going on among your players.
Yeah, lots of little things, but important things. I think where the players needed that time. Timo Baumgartner got married. Roman Bürki got engaged, which is great. Very happy for him as well. And Chris Durkin got a newborn. So, everybody now back and ready to play football again after that little break.
You are going to have training going on, and then, of course, the match on Wednesday night against Orlando City. I wanted to ask you, after 3 matches, do you like what you see so far from David Critchley, and what does that mean for him as interim coach?
I think you saw that in the last 3 games that we start playing our football again. The players really reacting well to Critch and to the staff. I think also the unity in the staff, the way they work together is really impressive. And I think looking at that, what we've seen so far, and also the way the team talks are going, the communication between the coaching staff and the players, as well as the performance, not just in the games, but also in training, I think we have to be clear that David will stay in charge till the end of the season. And I think that's a very important step for us as a club, but also for him. We need to get that stability in. The players are the players they need to have one face, one voice where they can focus on. And I think it's for David Critch and his staff also very important to focus now every day, knowing exactly what the future holds.
I appreciate you passing that along. So that means that Critch will be the interim coach for the remainder of this season, and then the process begins. And I'm certain that you search long and hard for coaches, but that he is prominently in the mix. There is what it sounds like, is someone that's very much impressed. Also, you've known him. He is a known commodity. You have known Critch for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, he was actually one of our first hires, even probably the first hire as an academy coach. So our relationship has always been very close. When he worked in Lucius and I saw the way his team played, it was very similar to the idea of football what we have here, from a philosophy, also from an intensity. And the communication was great. We brought him in. He was working really successfully in the academy, but also with City too. I think he fully deserved that opportunity. We basically talk every day and work on the fine tuning quite a lot. And I really believe in Critch. He has my unconditional support there as well, and he will definitely be part of the conversation once we have to make the next decisions after the season.
You've talked about the club's DNA and the way that they play with this style. It is nice. I know the fans enjoy seeing it back again. What are some of the things that you would like to continue to develop with this team? Where do they currently have some challenges you'd like to see more from them?
Well, the main challenge is that we never have the opportunity to have all the players fit and healthy, during a training week. So that's something which this week gave us a little bit of time to work on that. There will be still some movements on the transfer market. The transfer list opens on July 23rd. So it's a month from now where we definitely will adjust some things and be out on the market to see what we can do. But in the end of the day, it really comes down what the players which are available right now, the reaction, and especially the way training sessions have been, communication have been. The players are really bought into David Critchley's voice. They understand exactly what he wants. And he always said, nobody's bigger than the club. And that philosophy was given very early on, and we want to stick with that. It's exciting. It's hardworking. It's definitely something the fans can relate to when we are out on the field. And I believe you saw that changes now. So we really want to focus on our style, on that what we really want to present to the fans, and how we want to be seen as a neighbor. And I think David really, and not just David Critchley by himself, also the players, the way things have changed in recent weeks is definitely something where we're looking forward into the future.
I see that Horn is going to return to his parent club after the conclusion of his loan on June 30th. There was some desire to have him back, correct? But he expressed wanting to be back in Europe.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, loan with an option, and I believe that Giannis was one of the better left backs in the league. But when a family situation pops up or a private situation pops up, I think it's very important that you make decisions where the player can play to his best ability. And I think we needed to make the decision for us, but also for Giannis to go back home and sort out that. So he went back to Nuremberg and got transferred, I think, to sign on a free transfer for Rapid Vienna now in Austria. And I think that's where he's standing right now. So, yeah, good luck to him. He was a really good player for us. That already answers the next question, that we have one left back missing. So we are on the market for another one.
That's right. And it's an ongoing thing. There's no doubt, trying to find the right mix. But like you said, trying to stay healthy. Wouldn't that be nice, just to get everyone back together. Just overall status now that you've had some time off and it's 10 days between games, are you starting to see players heal up, getting them off their feet?
Yeah, they're getting obviously getting there, but we still have players like Kessler, Edu Löwen. They're still not ready when it comes to the Orlando game. We're working on the other ones, and it's just an ongoing story during the season. But that's why we're also looking really forward into the transfer window right now to close some of these gaps and to move on. And I believe the holiday also working on the physicality, working on the fitness now in the next few days, and actually since the last 3-4 weeks helped us a lot. And we just have to hope to really stay healthy, not to get any more injuries at all, but also keep our first 11 as healthy as possible.
Energizer Park, it is Orlando City coming up on June 25th. That is a Wednesday night. Then you go to Houston for the game on Saturday. One final thing, if you would, give us a scouting report of Orlando City as people prepare for that on Wednesday night.
Yeah, technically very good, playing some attractive football. Lots of players are from South America, so when it comes to the offensive part of the game, they're really strong, good speed. Interesting team to play against. I think it will be very hot in St. Louis on Wednesday, and Orlando, I don't think that they care a lot about that because they're used to that heat. So it's a team which will be not really that physical. They're more on a technical base, and I think for us it's important to get there, be straight away in their face from the first moment onwards to show them who owns the stadium, and that's us, to be aggressive, to give them straight away the pace that we want to win this game. And it will be interesting. It will be definitely a team which is playoff bound. They will make it again to the playoffs. One of the better teams for me in the Eastern Conference. But it's a home game, and if we still want to keep our goals alive, then we have to win our home game. Simple as that.
Yep, this extreme heat warning that we're in right now expires on Tuesday night, but it'll be plenty warm on Wednesday with a high of 92. Hopefully not too bad, but I'll tell you, those fans, they don't seem to care. They pile into that supporter section. They are just awesome, and so we'll see how that goes on Wednesday night as you take on Orlando City. We always love having you on KMOX. Thank you for the time. Thanks for the update on Critch, and be well. We'll see you soon.
See you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Lutz Pfannenstiel, sporting director at St. Louis City SC. So as you heard, he passed along that it's internally they have decided to let David Critchley finish the season as interim head coach. So that is probably a good sign for him in terms of the future, that he would be in consideration as they start to look at their future at the head coaching position. Lutz Pfannenstiel joining us on KMOX. When we come back, we're going to be joined by the voice of the Indiana Pacers, Mark Boyle. Waiting in the wings is Bernie Miklasz at 11:45. We're at Ballpark Village. They're filling up here. Cardinals Nation. I see 1, 2, 3 tables available in front of me and a few off in the corner here, but people have come in. They are ready to go. It's air conditioned. It's a great place to eat. FanDuel Sports Live is getting full as well at Ballpark Village. Hoping for a good crowd here at Busch Stadium for Cards and Reds. We'll be back right after this on KMOX.
I always said for years to save my number in your phone so you don't forget. And here's why. Today, I was calling the office. So I mentioned the office number. I probably have said it, not to exaggerate, over 1,000 times. I called the office today and I dialed the wrong number. When it connected, it said number you call not in order, not in use, whatever they say that. Now I am freaking out. I'm a very small business owner, and that's my lifeline. Very long story to try to make it shorter. And if Andrew can do this, I'm producing it. That's why I say save the number in your phone. Save it under Bart. That's with a B. You can save it under air conditioning. That's with an A. Or whatever helps you remember. Because if your memory is like mine, it's easy to forget. 314-293-2600. It's Bart. with a B.
Don't let mosquitoes ruin your time outdoors. At Rottler Pest Solutions, our mosquito control services are designed to dramatically reduce mosquito activity so you can enjoy your yard in peace. Take back your yard. Visit Rottler.com today to learn more and schedule your free inspection.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. YourEyeDoc.com.
Spring into a new home with amazing savings at TR Hughes. Hi, I'm Jason Hughes with TR Hughes Homes, and we are currently offering half off up to $40,000 in options and up to $5,000 in closing costs on brand new to-be-built homes at select TR Hughes communities. That's right, half up to $40,000 in options and up to $5,000 in closing costs. Visit trhughes.com for details.
The choice of a home builder is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
However, you really should visit trhughes.com.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sinks overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
You log into your DSP. It's confusing. Where do you build a campaign? Where's the report? Targeting's vague, CTV's tacked on and overpriced. Then you find Viant. Setup? Just a chat prompt. AI does the rest. Targeting? People-based and precise across premium publishers. Measurement? Transparent, outcome-driven. And CTV? We've led since streaming meant something. Viant is the DSP that actually gets advertising. Still trading on a desk? Visit Viant.ai to unlock real results today.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sinks overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
KMOX Weekend at your service, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Well, it's a big day here in St. Louis. It's the Cardinals and the Reds. It's the final game of a 3-game series. Cardinals going for the sweep here at Busch Stadium, a 1:15 start. We're inside Cardinals Nation, Ballpark Village. It's a big day in Oklahoma City. A lot of Cardinals fans running around that town, and right now it is a basketball town. They are ready to celebrate, but here are the Indiana Pacers, who have stood in the way of a number of teams in this postseason, and they're trying to win their first one as well. Joining us is the voice of the Pacers, KMOX alum Mark Boyle is with us. Mark, great to have you back on the show. I knew I would be talking to you one more time. How are you?
Well, I didn't know we'd be talking one more time, but I am well, thank you.
I knew it. I knew it because I knew you would still be going, and here you are in Game 7, and I appreciate your time very much. It is time to play. The Pacers are a resilient bunch, aren't they, Mark?
Yeah, for sure. They've won so many games during this run in such unpredictable, unprecedented ways that You don't go into any game thinking that they can't win, but they've been the underdog in every series except for the first one, and they've somehow found a way to win them all, and now they're playing the best team in the NBA, and they've got a chance in a one-game winner-take-all type format, so it's quite exciting, I think, for both cities and both teams.
Pacers won 108-91 to force this Game 7. Before that, Oklahoma City got them at home 120-109 to go up 3-2 into Indianapolis, where they had won prior at Indiana back on Friday the 13th. This series has gone back and forth, but I'll take you back to the beginning of this series. Oklahoma City playing in this first game where they game 2 where they tied it. They had to play with some desperation. I mean, that game 1, Indiana goes in there and wins by a point. It was a thrill ride for sure. An unbelievable shot again by Tyrese Haliburton. I was watching it with a big group of people. We were out here in St. Louis and Clayton. It was a thrilling moment. What does this team feel, first of all, about Tyrese? And one, how is he feeling? And two, how do they rally around him specifically?
Well, he's feeling okay. He said from the time he got hurt in Game 5 that he would play no matter what. So we're curious as to see how he would respond. And he looked okay. And the Pacers were fortunate in that they really had this game won by halftime. So he only had to play 23 minutes, which worked well. They've been treating him for the last couple of days. You never know until he gets out there how he'll perform, but he's so integral. He's got the ball in his hands, and balls around him on the offensive end. So if he can play at a level close to his norm, then they've got a chance to win. He's been such an important player for this team, and he's a guy his teammates have rallied around. This is an unusually close group of guys, Tom. This is my 37th season, and I can think of one or two other teams that the Pacers have had here where everything fit together just so beautifully. This team is so selfless. First time in NBA Finals history that a team has had 8 guys score over 200 points through a playoff run. So there's a lot of balance. Different scores often every night. They share the ball better than any team in the league. They're fun to watch, and they're always dangerous. They're really good offensively. They've snatched, to use the cliche, victory from the jaws of defeat multiple times in this playoff run. And they come into Game 7 not hoping to win. They come into Game 7 convinced they will win. Now, we'll see how it plays out, but it's a resilient group, it's a confident group, and it's a very close-knit group, and it's been fun to be around them.
It's a fun brand of basketball. I mean, they get up and down the floor. I remember talking to you last time about some of their holes defensively that they needed to work on. How do you think they have defended Oklahoma City, a very powerful team, this time around?
Exceptionally and perhaps surprisingly well. Oklahoma City was historically good defensively during the regular season, and they've still been good in this series, but the defensive metrics are surprising in that the Pacers have actually been better defensively than the Thunder in this series. So they've played perhaps above their norm, and that's one of the reasons they're in position to win the series. Game 7s are, well, for that matter, any game in a 7-game playoff series is so unpredictable. You never know what you might see. Game 7s are not the norm in the NBA. This is only the 20th Game 7 in the NBA Finals in almost 80 years of the league's existence. So they're not the norm. And when you get to one, it's just so exciting and nerve-wracking and exhilarating and, you know, choose your own descriptive term. But it's just a lot of fun to be around. And the Thunder are similar to the Pacers. They share the ball. They play selflessly. These are two teams that are maybe changing the way the game is played. They're not reliant on any one guy, even though they do have the league MVP. But they have Jalen Williams, and they have some other dangerous guys around him. Both of these teams play team basketball, and I think that's good for the league.
I think it's great for the league to watch this type of basketball, and I don't really listen to a lot of the outside noise when it comes to the NBA and the criticism. If there is any of two teams in the middle of the country going at it, you don't have the coast represented. I was talking about it early in the show. I like it. I mean, we play basketball around here too. The middle of the country, two cities that are drivable from St. Louis, much appreciated. What do you feel about that, and do you hear some of the outside noise regarding that?
Oh, we hear all of it. It's hard to miss, especially in the days of social media. But really, when you get right down to it, it's irrelevant. If you watch these two teams play and it's not your thing, then you don't like basketball. It doesn't matter if it's Los Angeles or New York or LeBron James or whomever. These two teams play basketball the way we were all taught to play it when we were growing up with the sport. And in a league where oftentimes over the years it's been centered on superstars and one-on-one play and things of that nature, I just find it so refreshing. And I think anyone who would watch these two teams play would be captivated by it.
The guy that captivates me, just to wrap things up with Mark Boyle, is Siakam. I just think he is a special, special talent. Out of New Mexico State, the 8-year veteran is 6'8", if I recall, and he is after every basketball. I mean, every time the ball is loose or if it comes off the rim, if he's not almost there, he's usually has his paws on it. And he can score. I mean, he is something else, Siakam.
Yeah, he can do pretty much anything, and he is a multiple-time All-Star, so it's not as though he's not been acknowledged or recognized. He was the MVP, for example, in the Eastern Conference Finals. But the reason I think that he doesn't get a lot of credit or publicity is because, A, he was playing in Toronto. Now he's playing in Indiana. And he's not a guy that goes for 45 or 45 and 10. He does it. But mostly every night it's the same. 22 points, 7 rebounds. 21 points, 9 rebounds. Doesn't make many mistakes mentally. He holds his own on the defensive end. And this is not to be dismissed. He brings championship experience. He was on that Toronto championship team not all that long ago. And this is the first series, I'm told, in NBA history where not a single person from either team, player or coach, has ever played in a Game 7 of an NBA Finals. So it's new to everybody. It's exciting to everybody. And I think both teams, their fan bases, their cities, and their supporters are really looking forward to tonight.
It'll be the 7th different champion in the last 7 years for the NBA, and somebody is going to hoist their first ever trophy, the Larry O'Brien Trophy, by either the Pacers or the Thunder. The voice of the Pacers, Mark Boyle, is with us, and it's great to have you back on KMOX. Have a great call tonight.
My pleasure, Tom. Thanks for the invitation.
Good to visit with you. KMOX alum Mark Boyle, the voice of the Pacers on KMOX. When we come back, Bernie Miklasz joins us, and we get into this ball club. The St. Louis Cardinals, also big birthday today in St. Louis sports. Big. Back in a moment on KMOX.
Summer's coolest mattress deals are going on now at Ashley's Stars and Stripes sale. This summer, save up to $1,000 on select mattresses and say goodbye to hot sleep and save up to $500 on the best-selling Tempur-Breeze collection. Plus, feel the freedom to snooze now and pay later with 0% interest until 2030 on in-store purchases made with your Ashley Advantage Synchrony credit card. Better sleep starts at Ashley. Subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
You log into your DSP. It's confusing. Where do you build a campaign? Where's the report? Targeting's vague, CTV's tacked on and overpriced. Then you find Viant. Setup? Just a chat prompt. AI does the rest. Targeting? People-based and precise across premium publishers. Measurement? Transparent, outcome-driven. And CTV? We've led since streaming meant something. Viant is the DSP that actually gets advertising. Still trading on a desk? Visit Viant.ai to unlock real results today.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. So tell them today, I love you. Get screened. It could help save their life. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn more.
The legends ride again. Willie Nelson and the Outlaw Mule back into St. Louis, June 28th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Don't miss the living legends. Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, along with Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, and more. Live right here in St. Louis. This is country the way it was meant to be. Tickets are still available, so get them before they're gone. More information can be found at KMOX.com/events.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. This is National Cancer Survivor Awareness Month, and we are joined by Dr. Lindsay Peterson.
And the program at Siteman Cancer Center is all always evolving to address the needs of all of our patients. And so we want to know, what patients need, what we can do for them. And we want to make sure that we're providing those different resources for them.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, go to siteman.wustl.edu.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Mark Cantor at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, so I take this very seriously. Mark is a great attorney. He has a great team. He is from St. Louis. He is local. Call 314-628-9999 or visit cantorinjurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Charlie Brennan once again with Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center. Dr. Bosler, is it possible we might say, oh, those kids are mumbling, when the problem really is our own inability to hear?
Exactly. Hearing is integral in everything that we do. It keeps us involved and embraced in life. Not hearing someone is never normal. Ringing in the ears is never normal. And when people have a hearing loss, oftentimes they complain that they can hear, but they cannot understand people. And avoiding getting a hearing aid can have long-term effects on the speech reception area of the brain. So what that means is if you test and treat the hearing loss early with a hearing aid, we can prevent a decline in the speech understanding that can happen if the hearing loss goes untreated.
The words of Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center. 3 locations in St. Louis, 636-441-7470, the Audiology Center, STL.com.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit where credit is due. Credit for deciding in the middle of rush hour traffic to go back and get their bachelor's and a promotion. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. And credit for serving in the military by day so they can study cybersecurity at night. For over 75 years, we've been helping students receive the credit they deserve. With more than 135 degrees and certificates, students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. At UMGC, you'll find everything, online to hybrid courses, lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Hey, before we get to Bernie Miklasz, 2 quick things. We just got off the phone with Mark Boyle, the voice of the Pacers. As we were wrapping up with him, the Phoenix Suns, with a whopper of a trade, they've traded 2-time NBA Finals MVP Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the number 10 pick in the 2025 draft, and 5 second-round picks. They just traded Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets for 8 players. Wow. Okay. Today is the 54th birthday of this St. Louis sports legend. Take a listen.
Warner and the Rams, who have gone 3 and out, back-to-back possessions. They go under center with 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Warner back to throw. Airs it out. Deep down the right side, and the pass is caught by Isaac Bruce. He breaks away at the 30. Bruce to the 20. Bruce to the 10. Touchdown. Touchdown, St. Louis Rams. Isaac Bruce, 73 yards. And the St. Louis Rams, for the moment, have the lead.
Our visit with Bernie Miklasz, sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. Good morning, my friend. I love that call from Howard David on Westwood One, and I love that moment. The Rams still had work to do, but St. Louis won the Super Bowl, and our lives were changed, Bernie, when Kurt Warner walked into them.
I'm glad you played that, because sometimes I worry a little bit that the 1999 Rams will be forgotten, because the team's not here anymore. And they should never, ever, ever be forgotten, because that was a magical time in St. Louis sports, one of the most magical times any sport in St. Louis sports history. And Kurt Warner, I think, personifies everything that we in St. Louis admire about athletes who are not only great performers, but great people. I mean, he had it all in one package. He still does, but I mean, as a player, it's very rare you get a guy of those special qualities where you can point to him and say, you know what, he's a great player, but he's probably even a better person. I mean, it's quite a compliment. And a great story, too.
Absolutely. Oh, such a great story. And, it made you believe in sports stories. And, of course, they made a movie about it. And the story will be told forever about he walked into the St. Louis Rams and got it done. But, of course, there's a lot more than that to his career. But what a moment it was. Winning a championship is so hard to do. There's just nothing like it. And the Rams got it done in 1999, almost again 2 seasons later. Bernie, we all wonder when the Cardinals are going to get back to that. I wonder who, if ever, will be the next, Kurt Warner type from the St. Louis Cardinals. Will there be somebody that we're not expecting that can rise to stardom and carry a team? I'm not sure it works that way in baseball. Quarterback position's a little bit different, but they have a future ahead of them, and I think there's some good ones coming here.
Well, you make a good point, and I think it's got to happen. I'm not saying that, it's got to be a Hall of Fame type player, but with all due respect, and I really mean that to the guys on this team now, because we all love the way they play. We love the way they compete. They're entertaining. Their heart's in the right place. The Cardinals got to get back to a time where they had like real stars. I mean, stars among stars. And, if you look at, you look around the National League voting for the All-Star team, things like that, the Cardinals really don't show up all that much. The Cardinals kind of get overlooked nationally. And I do think when you have like one or two just simply great players, not good players, it just elevates your whole franchise. And when those guys also become stars on a national stage, it just elevates your franchise in a way to where you're more prominent again. And I think the Cardinals have been lacking in star power. And again, I'm not trying to slight anybody that's busting their tail to play as well as they've been playing.
No, I agree. And it annoys me to the point where, I'll be honest, I limit my MLB Network intake. I think it's a great channel, and I like their analysis. But, there's just a lot of non-Cardinals being talked about, and the Cardinals get a little mention here and there, and then on we go. And I'd rather concentrate on what they're doing and what the NL Central is doing. A lot of Cubs talk, though, I'll tell you that. They're a legitimate team coming in here on Monday, Bernie. The Cardinals will be ready to roll, I'm certain, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I got to give the Cubs credit. I mean, I just to take the passion out of it and the allegiance to the Cardinals out of it. I mean, that team's just really, really good. They have an excellent offense. Pete Crow Armstrong, I don't know that anybody will beat out Ohtani for MVP in the National League, but he's taken a run at it. I mean, see, that's kind of an example we talk about. The Cubs flipped Javi Baez to the Mets and got Pete Crow Armstrong in return, and the rest is history. I mean, what a talent. The Cubs also have with Craig Counsell now, they've got their bullpen in order. They've reworked their bullpen. It's been one of the best in baseball the last couple months. Starting pitching, they're going to need some help. And I think they'll go get someone at the trade deadline. But they're a really good team. I mean, they still have a lot to prove because it's going to be tough for them to navigate their way through the National League playoffs because the National League is loaded. There's 5 or 6 teams that could get to the World Series, any one of them. So I can't wait for the series, though. It's going to be a lot of fun. And isn't it nice that since you took a shot at MLB Network, let me take a shot at MLB, period. Isn't it nice? Isn't it wonderful that MLB, actually they finally got around to scheduling a Cubs-Cardinals series that'll start June the 23rd. I think by now, Tom, I may be mistaken. I think the Yankees and Red Sox have played like 20 series so far, because it's and like ESPN or, and even Dodgers and Padres and ESPN, like foam at the mouth. Anything to do with Yankees versus Red Sox, just they start drooling and salivating, But what a disgrace it is for Major League Baseball. You don't get a Cubs-Cardinals series until June 23rd.
I know. And the Dodgers get a ton of attention. And how about our man Mike Schilt down there going after Dave Roberts? He's had enough of the Dodgers, too. I know the Giants are in the mix here, and they're going to be good. But I'll be curious to see if the Padres can do anything about the Dodgers.
they're gonna have to get Darvish back. And I think Joe Musgrove is out, and so they're gonna have to get some people back. They're a little beat up as a team. I think the Dodgers have more firepower. And when the Dodgers start getting pitchers back, and they're also going to make a bunch of trades if they have to. But Schilt has those guys playing hard, man. He is always getting into it, always. And he's become a regular on some of these things you can watch on YouTube where managers are going crazy. And listen, he can cuss as well as any manager I've ever seen. Mike Schilt, once he gets revved up when he's out there hollering, man, there's all kinds of words flying around, right? And he does not hesitate to, like who was that guy, the Dodgers outfielder, Andy Pages, who got hit by a pitch, and he was like sort of looking at the mound. One of the Dodgers hit him, one of the Padres hit him. And Schilt's like on the top step, and I can't repeat him. He's like screaming at the kid. He's like, "Who are you? Who the bleep are you? We don't know who you are. Who are you?" And it's like I think it's funny, but sometimes I wonder if it's a little bit over the top. But I love it. I think the Padres have that personality as a team, so they love it when he goes nuts. They love it.
I agree. I love too I watch all of his post game, stuff because we were around him so much. He'll sit there and push his glasses up and say, "Well, hey, we're not going to take it anymore." He's very calm and collected afterwards. We only have about 60 seconds left, but just your final thoughts here going into this one. Obviously, you need Miklasz to do well today.
Right. And Andrew Abbott's going to be tough to beat. He's been great. Listen, I know everyone likes to talk about Alec Burleson over the last, what he's doing in June or whatever. Can I give you one little simple stat? Since April the 22nd, he leads the National League with a 346 batting average. It just didn't start. He's been hitting like this for more than 2 months. So he has been phenomenal, and the starting pitching has bounced back nicely. And like you said, they're going to need Michaelis today to keep him in it.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Burley is really something to watch, and I think should get some all-star consideration. Appreciate you, man. Have a great time. We'll
brother.
see you on the Gas House Gang this week.
All right, take care,
That
Tom.
is Bernie Miklasz for our producer, Johnny Camp. I'm Tom Ackerman on KMOX.
When you retire, the paycheck from your job will likely stop. But here's what won't stop.